Once the parking rows have been designed, we can park a vehicle in a parking bay and perform a swept path analysis to validate common vehicle maneuvers that are required to enter and exit the parking lot. In my drawing file, I will use a passenger car to navigate my parking lot design. To get started, I first need to specify the default vehicle to use in my swept path analysis. To do this, I can go to the swept path panel. I can select Vehicle Library Explorer. I can go down to the library where I know my vehicle resides. Mine is under the US design vehicle, and I can go into the statewide ASTO and ASTO 2011 US customary lane. I'm going to select the passenger car and make it my default and then select OK. I'll start my search path analysis from a parked car and navigate through to the exit of my parking lot. To park a car in front and I'm going to the swept path extended panel and select the option to park a vehicle. I am going to move the vehicle into my parking row area and into one of my bays. It will automatically position itself into the bay and I can determine whether it's a forward park position or a reversed park position. In my case, I am going to specify a forward and left click to locate the vehicle. Now with the grips displaying on the vehicle, I can go to the swept path panel and select auto drive. I can use the tools from the auto to drive toolbar to begin backing my vehicle out of the parking bay. I'm going to move the vehicle back a bit to specify a target point in my swept path. And then I'm going to click on an option called turn on spot to crank my wheel while the vehicle is not moving so I can get a sharper backup turn. I can back up as close as I want, making sure not to lead into this other parking stall area. So left click to specify another target point. Now to begin peeling out of this parking area, once again, I'm going to come back up here and turn on spot, meaning I'm going to begin cranking the wheel before the vehicle is moving. That way I can get a sharper turn and I can start my vehicle out of the driver lane. Now to specify direction, I can come up here and turn on the bearing and pick an alignment from my drawing and I'll just parallel that line with my vehicle as the exit parking row. I can continue using the alignment section to parallel a few of the other objects inside of my drawing file. I can see that my vehicle, if I look closely, the green outline indicates the body of my vehicle and the red outline my tires. Looking at the screen, I can see that I was successfully in backing the vehicle out of the stall and then pulling forward to exit the parking lot. Now I will look at the swept path scenario where I enter the parking lot and park the vehicle into the one of the disabled parking bays. I can go to the swept path panel and select auto drive. It will prompt me in the drawing to position my vehicle, so I will pick inside of the lane where my vehicle will be coming into the parking lot. I'll specify the forward position, then using the proceed button, I will start my swept path. I'll pick a target point inside of my lane and then use the pick alignment to turn into my parking lot. I'll choose a polyline from the drawing to define my bearing that I want to turn on. And now I can have my vehicle entering into my parking lot. I'll specify a target point and then pick alignment so I can start making a movement toward the parking base at the front of my lot. I'm going to specify the location in the drawing and pick another target point. And then I'm going to turn into the parking row once again using the turn on the bearing and picking an entity from my drawing. I'm going to make a very sharp turn so I can get it as close to these stalls or base as possible and select. Then I'm going to choose pick alignment again. So if I can pull my vehicle right into that very first stall, I'll pull the vehicle into that first stall location. When I'm finished, I can hit escape. I can see the swept path that I had created. I can look at the green line which indicates the outline of my body of my vehicle and the red lines, the tires. I can see that I was able to successfully pull into the parking lot, make the tight turns, and pull into the very first disabled parking bay. I can continue to analyze other swept paths using similar techniques until my final design is achieved.